People freak out all the time about, like, what if I lose money? Well, if you lose money, then you make it back. I probably wholesale 10 to 15 houses a month. And I'm talking about every high-level person you see, that person has gone through hell.
We design at a luxury status, but with lower prices.
I know you love each other, but you can't tell me there's not times you just want to, like, get separate and go do your own thing. I'm here with Tarek and Heather El Moussa, and I've had the opportunity to just kind of talk a little bit with you guys. Feel like I know you, at least, obviously, for a lot longer than Heather. Having you came splashed on the page, HGTV, obviously that's what you're known for, going through houses and really doing something that I've always personally been interested in, and a little bit about my background, so it kind of helps where this conversation might go. I'm in mortgage financing for over 30 years. So when you talk real estate, you talk financing, you talk flip, you talk profits, you talk, okay, I'm very comfortable. I have my own, I'll say, portfolio of real estate, which are homes, rentals, and investment properties. But one of the things that, when my wife and I lay in bed and I watch the shows now, and even then, you're like, okay, I'm like doing math in my head. I'm like, wait a second. Purchase price minus improvements, less this, less that net profit. I'm like, okay, is that a gross number or is that a net number, right? So I don't, and what I would like you to do is just kind of shed some light what you guys are doing now and, educate, inform, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about some other things that you guys want to certainly expand upon.
Sure.
But I'm all ears and I want to kind of just learn and adapt.
All right.
Sure.
Right?
You want to talk about the show we're working on, beautiful?
Sure. So I came from a show called Selling Sunset, and that's on Netflix. And Tarek's been on HGTV for how many years?
A long time.
A long time.
Over a decade, yeah.
And then we came together on a show called the Flipping El Moussas.
Right.
So right now we're flipping, 14 houses together?
Yep, 14 episodes.
Yeah, 14 episodes. And we film a few days a week. We're also really flipping the houses in real life. So sometimes people probably don't think certain things are real, but we really are flipping 14 houses.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been challenging, right? So I've been flipping houses since 2010, and we've been in an upward trajectory ever since, right? So during season 1 of our show, The Flipping El Moussas, the interest rates went from 3% to almost 7% right when we started season 1. So the Flipping El Moussas, it's a fun show, and it's the truth about flipping. Like, there are some houses where we lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, which is totally fine. What does that mean? We need to buy more houses that will make us hundreds of thousands of dollars to offset those losses.
That's dollar cost averaging, I think.
Yeah,
right?
And then you were asking about the math behind it. It's actually pretty simple math. So what I do is I start at ARV, which is the after repair value, which what a house is going to be worth once it's fixed up. So after repair value of a house, say it's $1 million, right? Okay. Let's just say it costs $200,000 to make it look like $1 million house. So you take $1 million minus $200,000 is $800,000. You're going to have about $60,000 in selling costs and commissions when you sell it, which gives you a break even of $740,000. Okay. So here's what we just learned. If we bought this hypothetical house for cash today for $740,000, fixed it up and sold it, we'd make $0. Right. We want to make money, right? So once we identify the break even of $740,000, well, then we just choose our profit. If we want to make $100,000, we write the offer at $640,000. We want to make $200,000, we write it at $540,000.
Very good point. So it's reverse engineering, right?
Yes.
That is something that I don't know that comes through on the show. I'm sure it's not the first time we talked about it.
They don't really show the numbers on the show.
Right. And they don't show a few other things, which I don't want to forget and go out of order. One being staging, how beautiful everything looks. But let's kind of stay on that road about the financing. And the other part that is a little, not misleading, but it's not real time. Like you just said, interest rates today in this market are this, and maybe by the time it airs, so if you find a property today, you go out and close it. Now you go, how long is that going to take? I think I know how long it takes, but how long from you bought it, closed it, renovated? Give me a realistic number.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the size of the project. The biggest delays are caused by the cities and trying to get permits. Right. It's like it's just a nightmare. We spend so much money on holding costs and waiting for permits. But everybody does, right?
Sure.
So on a smaller project, start to finish, selling to a new buyer, closing escrow, I would say 5 to 6 months. Longer project, 8 to 9 months. Long project, a year.
All right. And so much moves with interest rates in that market. To your point, you could end up estimating it to be a fairly, robust profit, and then something skews it, changes it. Not to mention all the other variables about getting contractors there on time and supply costs. Forget that. Forget all this. Yeah.
But that's the thing. People freak out all the time about, like, what if I lose money? Well, if you lose money, then you make it back.
Yeah.
So in life, if you lose money, you can make it back, right?
Yeah.
If you lose time, you can't make time back.
Right.
That's why I always say, focus on maximizing your time, and if you lose money, learn from it and make the money back.
Well, you have to be a young person to be in that position to leverage both time and learning from your mistakes, right? Someone who might be my age or older has a different strategy and thought process about home ownership, home investments, and so on. Right? So,
absolutely.
That is, again, you touch on so many very interesting things that I relate to and I am intrigued by. So we just went through that example, as you said, reverse engineering it, which I think is very important for young people to understand. The other thing younger people need to understand about this investment in time and money is it's not the late night infomercial that is, hey, flip this house, I own 30 and 30 homes that I've made X amount of dollars. It's possible, right? It happens. But let's be realistic, right? You started with nothing. Mm-hmm. I know a little bit about your backdrop in 2008 and what happened as realtor, doing business like everyone else, getting hit smack in the face with an economic time like I did too. I thought in the mortgage world, I said, wow, we're done. Like, what do we do? The sky is falling.
Yeah.
And we got to figure something out. Fortunately, it's different. 2008 is different than today. That kind of rebounded a little quicker. This is a long, slow torture. What we're experiencing in the real estate market is really a different place, and it's going to get harder for your conventional real estate person, your mortgage person, and they've got to be nimble enough to see some other opportunities. But when we speak about taking a home and flipping it, you had 0 homes, you did your first.
Yeah.
When you listen to the late night person that speaks about, come to my seminar, I'm going to tell you, what's your thoughts?
Well, those were on many, many years ago, but now it's mostly digital programs. So I actually have a company called Homeschooled by Tarek, and that's where I teach people how to flip houses, how to invest in real estate, how to build portfolios. And I always say, like, before you invest in anything, you have to invest in yourself, meaning you have to take the time to learn the process and get educated. So I think the biggest value add that someone could add to their real estate career would be to join a community like mine, because that's where you network, that's where you learn, and that's where you really collaborate. And it helps you get to where you want to go faster.
All right, so give me one nugget. Give me one little nugget that if I think I'm interested, to your point, I don't know anything about real estate, what is the first thing you want to share with somebody?
You need absolutely $0 to make a lot of money in real estate.
Okay, $0.
$0.
So now let's go a little deeper. So now I don't need any money to start. So where does that come from?
It's called wholesaling real estate. Are you familiar with wholesaling real estate?
I'm familiar with it, but I want you to explain it so it's not.
Sure. So I probably wholesale 10 to 15 houses a month. Let's just say Heather calls me off one of my advertisements, and she inherited a major fixer-upper, and she wants to sell it to me. So she agrees to take my offer for $300,000. So my contract would state the buyer to be Tarek buys houses or assignee. When you add or assignee, that gives you the legal right to assign that contract to a third party. So now once I got that contract signed for $300,000, I can go sell that contract. So maybe I go to you and you're looking for a house to flip, and I ask you, I say, hey, do you want to buy this house for $350,000? You say yes. Guess what?
You just made $50,000.
I just made $50,000. And how much money did that cost me?
Nothing.
How much real estate did I buy?
You bought nothing.
Exactly.
So it's a very good example. I just did it about 2 years ago on a property right next door to me, and we did exactly the same thing. With that in mind, the assignee piece component of a contract It's not complicated. I mean, you need an attorney to help you make sure your language is correct, right? I think that's
it's
is
as
it a
simple
boiler
as and or assignee.
Yeah, but it's not a boilerplate item, right? It's got to be added to a contract. I don't know if it's in.
It just
in
goes
most
under where the buyer goes.
Yeah. Okay.
The buyer is the buyer's name or assignee.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, and in New Jersey, maybe it's a little different because I kind of feel like
it might be different.
Yeah.
There's different different laws in different states. To the best of my knowledge, you can wholesale real estate in almost every state in this country without a real estate license. But although there are some markets that do require a license.
Yeah, the language is again for purposes of disclosure and compliance with real estate has to match. All right, so cool. All right, now we found a house, we did the math, we renovated it, it looks great. It's time to decorate it, right? You did all your selections, your marbles, your aesthetics. Now you want to decorate it. Talk and walk me through that from a chair to a stool.
Well, design is, so I started learning how to flip houses through the master, Tarek.
Oh, thanks.
So I came from luxury real estate, and I flipped, 10 houses with you, and then now we're working on 14. So I think before you stage, which is very important, design is the most important. And what we do in our houses is we design at a luxury status, but with lower prices. So, it's really about finding those materials that are less expensive, but they look high end.
Yes.
So that's what we do in our flips. And to really make them stand out, we go above and beyond with our design. So that's really the most important aspect. And for staging, he'd say, now he agrees staging is very important.
Oh, it's okay. When the market's hot, it's not important because the house
right.
won't appraise.
Right.
When the market is not hot, like it is now,
staging is very important. Yeah, because
very important.
A buyer walks in and they can envision themselves in that home.
Yep.
So, and coming from luxury real estate, you stage a home. It's very important.
Yeah, and then one of the things like Heather likes to do, since we've been working together, is we're buying different houses in different locations. One house is traditional, one house is Spanish style, one neighborhood's modern. So the first thing she'll do is she'll study the neighborhood. So she'll look at comparable properties, look for the nicest, highest price sales, and then say, okay, if these are selling for the highest, this is the type of look buyers are looking for. So we'll try to recreate something similar, but make it even better.
Yeah. So we don't want to stand out too much, but you want to stand out enough that your home sells at top price.
Okay, so now you staged it. Looks beautiful. I feel myself walking in, taking my shoes off, and enjoying my new kitchen. What happens to the furniture?
The staging company takes that back.
Okay.
Or, sometimes you can sell the house with the
so
staging.
there is an option. If you decide on your sale, someone says, I want it just the way it is.
Absolutely. They can buy every single thing in that house.
Of course.
Everything's for sale.
Okay. So thank you for explaining that. The other part is when you see the shows on HGTV that they come into a couple who owns the home, they want to prepare it for sale, or they want to renovate it for their own home use. And the same thing now they say, well, the house value was this. We added improvements to this. Now the value is that. And it's completely different with the furniture. Same option for those homeowners. Do they come in and say, all right, we're done, wrap it up, lights off, take all the furniture out? Or are they able to keep that furniture? You know what I mean? When you're renovating for the purpose of someone who's staying in their home.
Like a homeowner.
It's a homeowner
remodel
show. Yeah, it's a remodel. Remodel shows.
Yeah, most times they want new furniture with the new look.
Right, of course.
But there is option to buy the furniture as well.
Right.
Yeah,
the
like
furniture
the home
doesn't stay
as
with
is.
it.
Yeah.
That's my point, because again, I believe I know that, and in talking with my wife as we're watching it, I'm like, there's no chance that furniture's staying, unless they want to buy it.
Yeah.
Some people want the exact look when they walk into the house, and some people know they want a fresh start.
Well, all right, on a scale of 1 to 10, how many people do you feel have the skill set to, I don't want to say decorate, but really have the vision, the skill set to understand, like, if after that staging, all that furniture comes out. Now they're on their own.
It's
so
hard.
how
It's
many
hard.
people, I know, that's what I'm saying, out of 1 out of 10, 3, how many people do you think have the ability or skill set to do it on their own?
1 out of 10.
Yeah,
Right?
because
Very
it's hard.
few.
It takes
Well,
time to source it, to find it, and then to order it takes a long
So, but
time.
there is a shortcut.
Ooh.
Hire professionals.
Yeah, hire a
there you
designer.
go.
That's the thing. Like, we see so many houses, and we see a lot of homeowners. They'll spend so much money remodeling their houses, but we can tell they did it themselves.
Yep.
So it's very important to hire the professionals to help you.
I can't agree more. We are in the process right now. I have a home in the Jersey Shore. It's a beachfront property. It's 20 years old. It's tired. It's time to renovate. And it's going to be a big rental job because it's from the cherry wood floors.
Yeah.
Well, cherry wood floors. You can't do anything with that. Sand them down, they're still going to be red.
Yeah.
So we've got to rip everything out. And we're going through it right now, which is, to your point, we look at the cabinetry. We're like, well, that's gorgeous, but that's 4 times, 3 times the cost of that. So we're going to go do that, and we're going to put some accents to different places where your eye will go.
Accent walls, wallpaper, lighting,
shiplap, ceilings,
Exactly.
right. And so thank you guys and the crew and host of other professionals that bring that to us, because that helps someone who's maybe in that 1 to 2% lower percentage see it through further. But for the most part, we are working with, and we have friends that are interior decorators that love to do this, and they're good at it. And there's such a straight beeline to, nope, forget that, do this.
Exactly. They can give you ideas that you wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah, they've done it hundreds of times over. And I'm glad you said that, because that was one of the things I wanted to mention as well. So thank you for that. Well, we talked about, again, the mainstream things that you guys are doing, right? What else is out there that you want to do? You have a brand. It's sensitive, right? Eyeballs on all of us. People say what they want to say. Some are cruel and some are flattering. We like to think of the more flattering people in the world. There's more good people in the world than there are the others, right? So you have this brand. What's it like? Because it's a business brand, and then you have this great relationship. How do you juggle and balance the two?
Well, as in us working together, just in
general?
Just in
general. It's
just in general.
Well,
working together. I mean, we really are best friends.
Yeah.
Like we met July 4th, 2019.
Right.
We went on our first date. Couple
July
days later,
22nd.
and then 4 days after that, she moved in with me.
Yeah.
And we've been inseparable ever since. So like we work really well together, and it's great that both of our backgrounds are in real estate. We both like design. We both like houses.
Right.
Like people think we're sick, like when we're not at work, we're out like looking around at houses, going to open houses.
We love it.
So we're always
Yeah.
looking
Right.
at real estate together. When it comes to the brands, we're really excited about the Flipping El Moussas. And we're going to continue to develop more shows together.
Yeah, we have, individual brands, and then we have our brand together as husband and wife. We have kids, so we balance, our families are the most important thing to us. So, we work a lot, but a lot of time is spent with our kids and our families. We do brand deals with other companies and brands out there, so we're busy with that. I have a skincare makeup line coming out.
Oh, nice.
And Tarek just had a book that came out.
Yes,
It's coming out.
It's coming out,
2024.
I have the first edition of the book. It's
Yeah.
a very easy read.
Flip your life.
It's really easy.
Flip your life.
It's
There's a lot more to
That's
it
one
than
page.
that.
And you know what? This book, it's gonna be a life-changing book for so many people, because the truth is, I really did start at zero. And I didn't go to a fancy university. I didn't have, all these mentors. No, like I grinded my ass off, and I figured it out. And, at 20 years old, I was living in a garage at my mom's house with cockroaches. By 21, I was living in, a $1 million house in Orange County, California. And by 25, that house was gone. I was back to an apartment, right?
Yep.
So I've learned a lot of lessons along the way.
Yeah.
And on top of like the financial lessons, I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. Pretty brutal back surgery a couple years ago. Went through pretty public divorce. That was pretty brutal.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
I've experienced a lot of pain in my life, which I tell people now that pain I've experienced is actually a gift. Because now, when something goes wrong, I just compare it to things that went wrong in the past.
Right.
It's not so bad, right?
No.
So,
Nope.
and that's where growth comes in. And I think most people, they shy away from pain, and that prevents their growth. So I think the more you challenge yourself and the more pain you experience, the farther you can go.
Right, I love that. And I love that you kind of summarized all that. And we forgot to mention actually 2 things. One, Tristan, 8 months old.
He is 8 months old.
Today's National Sons Day, by the way.
Yes, it
Did you know
is.
that?
Yeah.
As social media familiar I am and content creating I'm comfortable with, I never post about my own boys. I have 2 great boys. I just don't do it. I just feel like people are tired almost of seeing all our stuff, and I want to give them one more I don't know, thing to like kind of say. I just leave that alone.
I'm
But
sure
anyway,
people love
congratulations.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So congratulations to you. And by watching this, you may wonder why Lefty over there, his arm is in a sling because I had to twist his arm literally to come on and do this, right? So that's a corny.
No.
That's a corny. That's a corny dad joke. You know, Johnny would appreciate that. He would be rolling his eyes right now. So I did that for you, John.
But yeah, but no, we're a fan of it. We're a fan of everything you guys do, and we love the fact that you're friends with our friend David.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, this was a lot of fun, and you know, at the end of the day, there's so many people out there that watch our shows and they want to get into real estate and they love design and maybe they're stuck financially and they just never take action, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is it difficult to make $10 million a year and own hundreds of houses and apartment buildings and companies and blah? That is very difficult.
Right.
But do I think the average everyday American can put a little bit of effort in to retire with millions of dollars 20 or 30 years from now? Yes, I do. So
Sure.
our two main goals in life, one is teach as many people as possible like how to invest in real estate and how to better their lives through real estate. And then two, for the people that are too busy to actually go out there and do it, like doctors, lawyers, surgeons, whatever it might be. We have companies called TEM Capital and HEM Capital, and we partner with accredited investors and we buy commercial real estate.
Great. That's diverse in your brand and having an extension off of what you already know you do really well. So we like to kind of wrap up things and ask on a professional. We can go either way. You can say personal or professional, but
Sure.
you know, your most accomplishing moments, okay, and your most humbling moments, and you can pick one side of the ball or the other. It doesn't matter. But we asked that of all our guests, and I'm just curious, what would you say are maybe some of the things you've had as the most successful, and something that may not have been as successful that
I'm gonna go away from work and business, and mine would be having my son Tristan going through the birth and. You know, I'm a stepmom to Taylor and Braden, who are incredible, but going through the whole birth process, becoming a mother, going through postpartum, all while working and still running businesses and filming TV shows. I'd say for me, that was my biggest success.
All right, great. All right, I love it.
Man.
Anything put you under the hot lights here?
You know, I would say my biggest success came in probably 2018, 2019. Actually, 2019 was after I met Heather, where I was finally able to look in the mirror again and like the person that I saw.
Oh, good.
You know, going through the cancers and the divorce and the back surgery I wasn't sick for days. I wasn't sick for months. I was sick for years, and I was just in this rut. And I remember the day, like looking in the mirror and being happy, and like, oh shit, you made it, right? Because when you're going through cancer and divorce and all these things, you never think you're going to get out of it. So my biggest accomplishment was getting out of that.
Love it. And you know what, guys? Therein lies the answer to both questions, right? Because, and I love that you share that. We have, and I say we, although I'm not at obviously your level, it doesn't matter. There's an audience of people that listen and watch. And when they watch from afar, they don't always know, they don't always get that real person, right? There is a person that you are differently when the cameras go off and you go home, and I know you love each other, but you can't tell me there's not times you just want to like get separate and go do your own thing. I'm married over 30 years. I'm just guessing. There's times when you can appreciate being alone, right? And the fact that you share that you rise, you fall, you build back up, you rise, you fall, that's life. That truly is. If people, young people especially, can understand, embrace that sooner and fail forward and get up, you know, Rocky Balboa says it best. Life is going to hit you hard, right?
Yeah.
You got to get up.
You got to get
and you got to keep moving forward. I can say the whole Rocky thing, but then again, that's corny, and my son, they don't love when I do that.
But what you just
that's how winning is done.
But what you just said is the truth about life. Like, and this is what people don't understand. And I'm talking about every high-level person you see, whether it's business, TV, it doesn't matter what it is, that person has gone through hell, because there is no way to get to the top without going through hell. And the ones that survive it are the ones that make it.
Yeah, say the truth. All right. Well, that was great. I want to let you guys get on. You have a busy day. I've got to get ready for, I'm also going to be part of it, have our own segment later with David and Zeta Global and the fine people here hosting us in New York City. So anything else you guys want to share? You guys are good. I know we have the book. We talked a little bit about everything.
Yeah, I mean, we're just getting started. So you're going to be seeing a lot of stuff from myself and my beautiful wife here, from TV shows to businesses to
Awesome.
Networking communities, so you name it, we plan on doing
Sky's
it.
the limit.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to see you guys again. I'd love to get more of a deeper dive.
Yeah.
And yes, I will come. They said off camera they want me to come out to LA and
Do
kind of
it.
spend some time on the show. And
Yeah, come
I
on
guess I
out.
will. I mean, I don't know. I'll talk to my publicist,
Come
Joe.
flip a house.
Talk to me.
Well, thank you so much for having us
Yeah,
on.
guys,
This
it
is
was
fun.
great. It was good
Yeah.
stuff. And we're going to hang out a little bit later. So, guys, that's
Yeah.
it. That's a wrap for us. Great quality time with some good people. So, see you guys again. Stay tuned. Enjoy the day. Peace.
Peace.